It's 1:18 a.m. At least, for me.
Do you know where your podcast is?
Welcome to R&R After Dark, Part 2, man.
Oh my god, that sounds like the most terriblest idea we've come up with for a spin-off.
I don't like it anymore.
Yeah. My brain just goes in the wrong place, man. Like,
yeah, we can't do that. We can't do it.
yeah, I don't want to imagine you in a leotard.
It will shut us off it will take us off the airwaves so fast. Like After Dark, no. We don't want this. No one asked for this.
Technically, if you're listening to us, we are After Dark. If it's After Dark.
I mean, we are.
Yeah.
Because when we're recording. But yes. Or whenever you're listening in your region, yeah.
Do not listen to us After Dark in your region.
Or do, however you want to do it, it's fine. Whatever. No judgment here. We are a no judge zone here.
Yeah. I don't like any judge.
Fuck it. Sorry. He's a Yankee. I can't.
Yep.
Speaking of the Yankees, Giancarlo Stanton, I'm really hurt about that. Really hurt.
I gotta be honest. That's like all over Twitter, and everyone's like woobity wobbity woo, and I'm just sitting here like, it's not the end of the world, guys. It's just baseball.
You don't understand. You don't understand.
I do understand.
But this isn't a sports
200
podcast.
games later, people will be going, "Oh, was it the right move?" And I'll be like, "That was 200 games later, you fool."
I think it's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out. I'm not looking forward to seeing him 18 times a year, I'll say that much, though. I'm looking forward to it.
It's not often that I say this, but I think it's time we started the show.
Hey! He took it from me!
And it's mine. I'm never giving it back. Finders keepers.
Hello, and welcome to episode 25 of the R&R Gaming Podcast. We are a part of the Joystick Entertainment Network. I am your host, Byron Reed, and alongside me is my co-host,
Ken Russie.
Ken. How are you, my man?
I'm as good can be when it's been good to be good.
Fair enough. I don't know what any of that was, but that'll work for me. I am okay. I'm not tired because I have energy this week after last week's debacle of an episode. Kidding. But no. I'm all right, man. Just got home from work about an hour ago, 12-ish. So that's fun. Yeah. I've got energy. I've got an Arizona energy tea, so that's helping somewhat. I don't do the whole caffeine thing. It's not something I do.
Right.
Not a thing. But anyway, before we get into that whole thing, which we're not here to talk about, what have you been playing?
Well, I have been playing South Park and the Stick of Truth.
How are you liking it?
Well, I guess we'll just start that I'm not a huge fan of South Park. Like, I could never see an episode of South Park ever, and I would be just fine with my life. I wouldn't feel like that's a problem or an issue.
Yeah.
So, I guess I decided to pick this up, though, because I'd played the Fractured But Whole. They had a demo that you could play.
I missed that.
On the Xbox One. And so, I played that, and I was like, this is funny enough, but I feel like if I'm going to play this, I should really go back and play the Stick of Truth, because it literally takes place like it starts out you're still playing the fairy stick of truth style of
Yeah.
game. So yeah, so it's only fair that I should play a stick of truth.
Makes sense to me.
Yep. And I do like it. It has its funny bit and its crude and crass bits. I haven't gotten too far into it, of course. I'm still playing through it. But what I have played, I find it fun. Although, am I the only one that thinks that the Nutcracker attack is overpowered?
I
Like,
don't. Which class is that? I don't. Which class did you pick?
I picked the fighter, I
Okay.
guess I should say.
I picked
Because
the
yeah,
wizard, I
there's
believe.
the fighter, the what is it, the mage, the
I
dark
picked the
elf,
mage. That's what I picked. Yeah.
something like that, and then the Jew.
Yeah. I picked the mage. That's what I picked.
And I gotta
Fantastic.
say, I was really tempted to pick the Jew class, but I couldn't bring it upon myself to do that, so I picked the fighter class.
Mm-hmm.
Um, excuse me, but he has a attack that's called Rochambeau, and he goes up to one of the I guess enemies, and he plays a little game of Rochambeau, and if you tap the A button just as he hits his glove, you'll get a perfect or better attack. And once he gets like rock, paper, nuts, and then he kicks the character in the nuts, and
Jesus Christ.
it causes them to become super dizzy so that they can't attack. And if there's other guys around, like as you level up the skill, I mean, I could go into this, but I'm really not going to. I expect people to have already played the Stick of Truth. So, but as you level up that skill, you can cause other people to be grossed out around the character. So not only does it cause this character to become incapacitated and can't attack for probably about 3-4 turns,
Jesus.
but it also causes. Damn, I'm super tired tonight. I apologize. But it can also cause the other characters to be grossed out, which is kind of like poison, and it takes extra damage off there. But it's so overpowered that did you ever? I don't know how far you got into it, but did you ever find the moss creature and battle it?
I've beat the game. It's been so long I don't remember, honestly.
So if you go to the dude in the gun shop, he gives you like a list of rodents or creatures.
Oh yeah. I
Right.
remember. Yep.
So one of them is a moss creature that is actually in the bottom of the school.
Mm-hmm.
And if you remember that now.
Yes, I do.
So
It's
the
coming back
moss
to me.
creature, as you know, it regenerates health every turn, right?
Yes.
Right.
Oh,
But it never got to attack me because I kept using this Rochambeau Nutcracker move on it, which kept causing it to become dizzy and not attack.
wow.
And
Very nice.
so then I just, if I ran out of pee-pee, then I would just use a drink and fill it up, and then I could use the Rochambeau move again. And so it never got to attack me once while I
Wow.
was battling it.
Jesus. Nice.
Yeah. So now it goes without saying that female characters are immune to this attack. Like it still hurts them, and I think it still grosses out other people around them, but it
Right.
doesn't cause them to become dizzy.
Huh.
Hmm.
I- Smart. Smart.
Yeah,
Though.
but that's my experience with it so far. It's very similar to the Fractured Butthole. What I've played of it, the only difference, of course, is that with the Stick of Truth, it's a turn-based RPG, whereas Fractured Butthole, it's a strategy RPG, and you have to like move up to characters and use special attacks and attack them and stuff, as opposed to just being able to use your moves.
Right. I'm really looking forward to playing the Fractured Butthole at some point. Uh, it's oh man, I'm eventually I'll pick it up. Right now it's just not a good time. Holidays and all that.
Yeah.
Speaking of looking at the calendar, there's only 15 days left till Christmas, so that's fun.
Yep. Your
Sneaking
your
up on me,
calendar's a
man.
little early, but no, I mean,
It's right here on my laptop, so I was like, oh, look at that.
well, I know, but you're living in the world of tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I
Yep.
forgot. Haha.
Yep.
The future. Future.
Um, but yeah, in your crazy holiday working fun time, have you got to play anything?
Actually, I've gotten to play a little bit more this week. I decided to just take some time and before work, just sit there and game for a decent amount of time before I have to leave to go to work. So I I've played a few things, but I'll keep it short. I tried out a MMORPG called Skyforge on Xbox One.
Okay.
It was free to download for
Yeah, I
I
saw that.
don't know if it still is or not, but it was, and I was like, let's give it a shot. Why not? After looking at the trailer and everything, and it's fun so far. I mean, I'm having a good time with it early on. The powers and everything that you have for the class that I picked, which is the cryomancer, it's really cool. It's like a mage. You get to slow down enemies, and for reason you'll do more damage. Uh, there's an AOE attack. Like it's all really nice. It looks good and everything. Um, I'm looking forward to leveling it up. What's cool about it though is that you can switch classes at any time you want to, which is nice. Even apparently in the middle of combat, you can do it, and it'll help you somehow. I haven't tried to
Okay.
do it like that yet, but you can switch between classes anytime you want. So it's really cool in that respect. I'm having fun with it so far. I'll have to play a little more when I get a little more time to sit there and play some. Um, Playing some Destiny 2. The Curse of Osiris DLC came out.
Yeah, I heard
Enjoying
there's
that so far.
uh, some drama happening with the latest
There
Destiny 2 update.
is there is some drama that I read about. I just glossed over it really. They're locking players out of content. There is some stuff that's time gated.
Yep.
They number one they've this isn't new to me anyway. It's unfortunate, but it's nothing new to me because they time gated stuff in previous DLCs for Destiny 1, and they did I believe they did lock some players out of some of the things.
Well, what I read was that there was two raids that were available to people that just owned the Destiny 2 starter pack. And then they went and raised the light level to get into those raids. So that if you didn't have the DLC pack, you could no longer take part in those raids. And one of those raids was an achievement. So unless you paid for the DLC, you couldn't even unlock an achievement that
Huh.
was um, from within the base
That's
level of the
interesting.
game.
'Cause I know there's only one raid right now, which is the Leviathan raid. Um, there's a normal version of it, then there's the prestige version of it. So that could be what that's talking about. That sucks. I was not aware that that happened. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and that's unfortunate. I hope they can fix that because that's not a good look at all. Um, it's not good. But yeah, I'm having fun with it so far. The light level increase is nice. The rewards are there. It's still lacking in areas, but it's still there. I don't want to touch on it too much because I believe I've talked about it enough in the past few weeks, so I'm gonna spare you this week.
Yay!
um, Other than that, we actually did get a chance to play some 2K this past week, didn't we? That was I don't remember when it was, but we played some Pro Am.
We
That
did.
was fun. Yeah,
Yep.
I bought some VC and got to 80, 85 overall or whatever and had a good time. So
Yeah. I mean, we could
yeah,
definitely use you more too, because
yeah,
we found our point guard and he
yeah.
is
We did. He
um,
was really good.
yeah, he's really good. and we've actually played some pro-am with just him and having a CPU,
Hmm.
and we've been in a lot of our games thanks to him finding open shooters and even just making open shots too.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, it would definitely. I think we would kick some total butt if you were there.
Yeah.
Wink, wink,
I've
nudge, nudge.
yeah.
Know what I
See,
mean? Know what I mean?
my my problem is number one, I'm usually not on till late like 10, and then I'm playing Overwatch with other friends or whatever, or I don't feel like going into the my career and go and actually get badges. So I only have two right now.
Well,
Three
see,
three now after last time we
right.
played.
See, here's the thing, though. Um, Even though you have like little to no badges, and having badges would help and make you more powerful, just having you there, you're 10 times better than the CPU. Like the
You're
CPU
not wrong.
is
You're
so
not wrong.
bad this year that it's like they really didn't want people to play with the CPU, and it kind of makes me wonder why they even put the CPU in there and didn't make it so that you had to just play with 5 people.
Hmm.
Like the CPU is
I can think
just
of a
that
few
bad.
reasons why. Few
But the
reasons, but
CPU is just so bad. I'm just
but no,
saying,
but no, 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 yeah,
like,
absolutely. I see.
I mean, I guess they still make shots and stuff, but they're it's bad. We should just move on because we'll be here for hours.
Yeah, except for another episode. Yeah. So let's jump into the news, shall we?
Yeah.
The I'll start this week. The the GTA, yes, the Grand Theft Auto online is getting a new some new content in the form of a new heist, and it's the first since 2015, called the Doomsday Heist.
Hmm.
And it's there was a trailer for it a few days ago. I saw it. It looks really cool. I'm looking forward to getting some buddies together to play that. But the story synopsis for it is that a billionaire tech mogul, an idealistic intelligence agent, a socially awkward conspiracy theorist, and a neurotic supercomputer have been forced into an unlikely alliance to save San Andreas
Neurotic.
from total annihilation. Yeah,
You
as
said
apocalyptic.
neurotic.
That's what it's called. That's how you say the word.
Yeah.
As As apocalyptic threats mount from enemies unknown, you and your criminal crew are enlisted to untangle mysteries and eradicate threats spanning from the bustling streets of downtown Los Santos to the ocean floor and all the way to the inner depths of Mount Chiliad in an epic new online adventure. So yeah, I mean the trailer looked really cool. It looks like it's gonna be using a lot of the stuff that has come in, like the aircraft carriers and all the other stuff, which I don't have. I don't have money for all that. But
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to getting some buddies together and trying the new Heistman. It drops on December 12th.
Hmm. Cool. Have fun with that.
I will. I will. I hope to anyway.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're still supporting the online, but I'm still bummed about no single player DLC. They could have did so many cool things with it, and here we are. But it's
You're
okay.
bummed about not being able to spend money. It's
A
funny.
little bit because I wanted yeah because whatever. Nope. Another time.
Not falling into that trap, are ya?
Another time. Another time. I don't want to get going.
Oh, yeah. So moving along, um, the new Sea of Thieves from Rareware. They've announced that the up and coming open world pirate game, it was delayed from its spring of 2017 release window to just early 2018, but they've since released a solid release date for it, and it will now launch on March 20th of 2018.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, they're supposed to be. I think they're doing a beta now, and I've seen some people like you might be able to win to get into the beta, and I assume probably when it gets closer to February, there'll be an open beta for people to check it out. But I'm pretty excited about this. I mean, if you're going to be a no good, rotten, dirty pirate thief, you might as well be a no good, dirty, rotten pirate thief and not some sort of futuristic man with your cars and your guns and your jetpacks.
Yeah, I see your point. I am looking forward to that game. Looks like it's gonna be different, and the art style is interesting enough to be pay attention to it. So,
Yep.
I just hope that if we do play it, we can get some people in there with us, and I'll have a good time or whatever.
And not get somebody who's a pirate, filthy pirate, and swashbuckles you in the back, even though you're the bloody captain.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Because it seems like whenever we play games, it's usually just us, which is fine, don't get me wrong, but, having, a full team of whatever, would help.
Yeah. That just makes me want to play sad music and show a single tear falling down my cheek.
Yeah. Get that in.
Alright.
You won't know. My second piece of news is that Soul Calibur 6 has been revealed. There was a trailer shown at the VGAs featuring a young Mitsurugi battling Solfitia. It's said to have a epic story mode and dynamic fights enhanced by cinematic styled combats. It's going to be developed in the Unreal Engine and it will release in 2018. They also said that they have a new reversal system, reversal edge or something along those lines. I'll have to look more into that and give you more information about that next week. So expect another Soul Calibur news story next week on that.
Right.
Before we go on, sorry. Because Soul Calibur is my second favorite fighting series next to Mortal Kombat, so I'm really looking forward to it. It's been a long time since we've had a Soul Calibur fighting game. So, yeah.
Well, we haven't had this generation Soul Calibur game, but it seems like we had 2 last generation.
I think so,
Soul
because you had the
Calibur
one
5
with
and Soul Calibur 4.
Vader.
Yeah.
Because Vader was for 360, the Link one for GameCube?
No, Yoda was for 360,
sorry, Yoda,
and Vader was for the PlayStation 3.
Okay, yeah. Sorry. Knew the Star Wars character somewhere in there.
Yeah. But no, I mean, honestly, damn, I can just not stop yawning.
The Yellow Cast.
Yeah. But no, Soul Calibur 2. That was my personal favorite. And part of it was because you got to play as Link on the GameCube. And I think that was my favorite character. And since he was only available on that one version, which, slight side story, that was the version of Soul Calibur that sold the most. Like, it sold more than the PlayStation 2 and Xbox version.
Wow.
I think maybe even combined. I don't recall exactly, but I know it sold more because it had Link in it. But since he was my favorite character and they can't or haven't continued him down the line, I've just kind of, I don't know, feels a little generic and like, I mean, I've still played some Soul Caliburs. Like, I actually played Soul Calibur 3 on a whim, and I really enjoyed their kind of story mode where you made a made-up character, and it was kind of like a battle, and there's a bit of strategy depending on where you went on the map, and like, that was cool.
I remember that. Yeah, that was really cool.
So it does have its good moments, but I gotta say that I'm probably not super excited about this one, just because.
And that's okay.
I don't know, like, it could be that I'm falling out of favors with fighting games again because I didn't even pick up Tekken 7.
Yeah, I love Tekken as well. That's like my top 3 fighting is Mortal Kombat, Soul Calibur, and Tekken.
Yeah. And I didn't even pick up Tekken 7, so I don't know. I could just be falling out of favor with fighting games.
Fair
It
enough. I
happens.
mean, fighting games take a lot of dedication nowadays, and I'm not like I enjoy fighting games a lot, but I'm not one to put in all of the time to learn all the intricacies of fighting games.
Right.
But I do love playing them, and I'll hop in online occasionally and get my ass beat. But I don't care. I'm just having fun. As long as you're not spamming projectiles, then I'm
Right.
cool.
Well, I used to play fighting games for the stories, but I don't know. It feels like the stories have been less extravagant, and it's been more about the actual fighting and gameplay and less about the story.
I feel you. It's a fighting game, but yeah, I feel you.
Yeah,
Injustice story is good.
that's true. I'm gonna move along though.
Yes, I was hoping
So,
you would.
it has been announced that Romancing Saga 2 will have a worldwide release on December 15th for the PlayStation 4, PlayStation Vita, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and the personal computer, or PC for short.
Nice.
So the Square Enix announced that they would be releasing Romancing Saga 2 on December 15th. Little history about it. This is an old Super Nintendo game that was originally released back in 1993. With this version, though, they are updating the graphics and the audio. They're adding new character classes, there's a new dungeon, and there's more features in its New Game Plus that it has. And this is probably one of the more rarer? Am I saying that right? Rarer games back for the Super Nintendo. And if I recall, its biggest claim to fame was that with the story, you could pick one of six characters to start your story with,
Hmm.
and it would change the story depending on who you picked and like who you next picked, and so it had a lot of replayability because you could pick, we'll just say character number 1 and then character number 4, and then you could replay it and do 1 and 2, and the story would be different because of that. So if I
Very cool.
recall, that's was its biggest claim to fame, was just how immense the story could change depending on who you played and when you played them.
It sounds cool. It's coming to Xbox One, so I won't have to pay attention to it.
You wait, you won't have to pay attention to it.
No, I will.
Oh, well, I mean, I would
Like
get it for the
I'm
Switch because then I could take it with me,
yeah,
play it wherever, not be
right.
stuck at home. Who am I kidding?
Yeah.
No, I stay at home anyways. uh,
But yeah, that I mean, I love RPGs now. We had a discussion off air about not getting into RPGs until I was a little older for reasons.
right.
But yeah, I'm into RPGs now, so yeah, I feel like I will have to, at least, uh
Check it out.
watch a few gameplay things on YouTube or whatever when it comes out and see if I like what's there, and then I may try it for myself.
Cool.
So my final news story is that both Far Cry 5 and The Crew 2 are both delayed. Far Cry 5 will now launch on March 27th of 2018 instead of February 27th, 2018. The crew has been moved to between April and September of 2018 instead of March 16th. That's going to put it in the first half of Ubisoft's 2018-2019 fiscal year. The reason for these delays has been to, quote, invest more development time into the game. This is from Burgess Christine Burgess Camard. She is the Ubisoft executive director.
Okay.
I'm all in favor of delays as long as you take time to make the game better.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, I'm not
Uh,
gonna complain about you delaying a game. No matter how bad I want it, pause. I will take the
well,
time and make sure the game is right and up to your standards.
that's right. Or just take the time needs in the first place, and then you won't have to delay the game.
Correct.
Uh,
Correct.
yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But I'm imagining it's a lot more complicated than what we on the outside looking in would think. So
Yep.
there could be a lot of things, a lot of things going wrong. Well, anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to the crew too, because I really enjoyed the crew, and
Yeah.
they're going to give me the ability to explore the world even more. And again, I'm hoping it's bigger, because if it's the same world and they've just added a few minor details or changed things a little bit, I'll be sad and disappointed.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to Far Cry 5 just because I'm interested to see how they do this America thing. That's going to be really different to see because Far Cry's usually been in more exotic locations, mountains, and a tropical island, for instance. So I'm really interested to see how they're gonna do this, and they're changing up the way the story works and all the other business.
Yeah. Well, if you don't mind, I'm going to end it with a joke I used to say. In that they call it Far Cry because it's a far cry from a good game.
Well, if anyone wants to be the new host, new co-host, take it offers.
Oh, I've been fired, people, out of a cannon
Let him
into the sun.
know. Show's over. What? No, no. I'm kidding. Stay
Yeah.
tuned. There's more.
So, all right. So my last piece of video gaming news is that's right. They finally announced Mega Man 11 on the stream that Capcom did on December 4th on Twitch. They announced that it's been in the works and that it will come out sometime in 2018, which I guess is cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. So the game has Mega Man sporting a new look. In fact, I was going to show my host the new look for this Game Informer art because it is swag swiddly wag, if I do say so myself.
Swag, swiddly wag.
Swag willy wag. But yeah, it should be more the same. There'll be 8 robot masters that I'm sure they will be showing throughout the course of Mega Man 11's release date. It should be good times. I gotta be honest though, the game looks really great, except I don't like Mega Man's animation.
Okay.
So it like has a he has a weird walking animation and it feels really out of place. And so I'm kind of yeah. I guess kind of iffy about it, but I am excited because they said last week that I really just want a new Mega Man game. This is the new Mega Man game. So I can't wait to get my grubby little hands on it.
Yeah, I'm really happy for those that are fans of Mega Man. They've been waiting a long time for a new entry in the series. So, yeah, awesome. Looking forward to seeing how everyone reacts to it. I
Right.
personally never got into Mega Man, but I am very aware of those who are and why they like it. So, is that.
Right. Well, if anyone wants to be the new host of the R&R podcast, I'm looking for a new host.
No, you can't kick me off the show. I know. You can't fire me.
So yeah.
So That's gonna segue very well somehow
Yeah.
into our main discussion of the evening, and that is positivity in gaming. So, uh,
So
what
wait.
do we mean when we say this?
Okay.
Yeah, so when I say positivity in gaming, I think of things like, trying to keep yourself motivated throughout losing streaks, or if you're having a bad game, how are you talking to yourself to get yourself back into the mindset of playing better the next game. It relates a lot to sports in a way. You're picking yourself up, picking your teammates up, whatever it may be. So those sorts of positive elements, positive thinking, can turn a bad game into a good one, or whatever it may be. So
Right.
what do you think about this? What does it mean to you?
Well, I'll be honest. When we've you first came to me with the idea of positivity in gaming, I was thinking like,
Hmm.
you mean like Sesame Street?
Well, no, no, no. I really just meant focusing on things like how to keep positive, and just things of that nature, really.
Right. And that's a good question because it can be really hard to stay positive, especially when um, when you're playing games with other people and then they'll just message you um, and say you suck.
Right. Yeah. Even little
Like,
things like that.
yeah, like it's like they have nothing better to do. um, but to tell you that you suck instead
Right.
of
Like
worrying about
you.
themselves.
Right. Exactly.
Um, but no, I mean it's an interesting question, and I've really tried to. I mentioned it earlier. We're in our pro am, and I've really tried to go with a be positive attitude. Um, if we come down the court in the game and we take a shot and it doesn't go in, or we just lose the ball and we don't even get to take a shot, it can be really easy to fall into that trap of we suck. Why am I even playing this game? Everybody, blah blah blah. Be negative about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I found that doing that, all that does is it creates the guys that I'm talking with the chat, trying to play games with. It just causes them to feel worse about themselves, and then their play shows that they start playing worse than they are. So
Yeah.
if you're positive, and you um, kind of like relate to that, like if something bad happens, just kind of cheer them up, like that's okay. We got this. It happens. We'll get back there. We'll score. We'll take the lead. Blah blah blah. Kind of whatever. So it's kind of positivity can lead to winning
Yeah,
in my mind.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. There's a whole thing, you could have a whole discussion based around that. I would like to dive a little deeper into it at some point here, but it's the mantra of, if you feel good, you'll play good.
Right.
So, and this goes for a lot of things in video games, not just competitive gaming. It could be, you going through a solo experience. You get you get to, a tough boss fight, or a level's giving you a hard time, and or you're having difficulty with a puzzle or something along those lines. you know and if you talk to yourself in a positive way instead of the opposite, you know, it could, and more than likely it will turn things in your favor versus not. So when we talk about, how to keep positive, that is a big thing. The positive self talk is a big thing. So, me being a me being really into Destiny PvP, that's something that I struggle with, or not struggle with, but it's something that my friends have a hard time doing, and it frustrates me to hear them go off on the mic. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Um, we're playing Trials of the Nine or something, and just bro, he's around the corner, or whatever, things like that, and I'm over here on the mic just trying to bite my tongue and just listen, because for me, half of it is listening to what's going on, and watching how and hearing how they react to the
Hmm.
situation, so I can respond accordingly with the positive talk. Um, you know, if you go into a round and you lose the round, or somebody goes down early, hey, it's all right, back up, reset, we'll get the res. Just communicating all of these things is important to your teammates, but also again to yourself. So if you're on a tough boss in Dark Souls or Bloodborne, or a level, like I said, is giving you a hard time, that positive self talk uh, is definitely a big factor in how you get around the situation and come out a bit better for it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, well, I'm not sure what else I can say. I mean, I agree with you um, on that. I guess maybe I could ask the question like, are there games that create negativity and maybe do it on purpose? Like, um, I don't know, like Battlefield, does it create an atmosphere where somebody's losing? Like, it creates that negativity, just as
So
an
do
example, I guess.
Okay, yeah. So do you? So is the question basically is, are there games that will create a negative environment
Right, as
for
opposed to,
for the player?
yeah, as opposed to when they're not playing good, giving like a positive affirmation that they'll get better or that they're getting better. Do they, um, like, are games designed where if you're not good, you're bad, I guess.
Well, if the we were we were talking a while ago about that patent, um, from that company. So I mean that could very well possibly be a way that it will start to be designed, uh, you know, to go in that direction, to make you feel like you have to do certain things to become better at the game. But no, I don't think that games themselves uh, create the negative environment. I think that it has a lot to do with the community of the game, because that's what will make or break any game, in my opinion, is the community. You know, I'm at, prime example. The Destiny community right now is sort of in a state of high toxicity, with a lot of things, and I can't say I blame them for everything, for all of it. I mean, you're right in some respects, but it's how you handle it. You know,
Hmm.
you can be mad and frustrated about something all you want to, but it's how you handle it. And someone on Call of Duty, can call you all sorts of names. You can respond in a few ways. You have a choice. So no, I think that it's more community focused than actual game mechanics and all that stuff focused. That makes sense.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I guess. That's what I'm
Okay.
trying to say.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. All right. So, just to wrap this brief discussion up here, just wanted to go out with, if you have a positive moment to share from your gaming experience. Could be recent. It could be one of your most fondest ones. Doesn't really matter if you have one for me. I'd like to hear it.
Yeah. Me too. And just because
Well,
I'm
that was
yawning
more.
doesn't mean I'm disinterested.
Yeah, yeah. That was also a question to you, my friend. Do you have, you know,
Oh,
any one moment you can think of in particular? Yeah.
um, I mean, I can't really think of like something that was positive.
Well, that's not
Not off the top of my head, my man.
good. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, I have a few that I can
Okay.
think of at the moment. Okay, so one of them was when I was playing Bloodborne, which is fantastic, by the way. If you have not played it, definitely give it a shot. If you like the Dark Souls style of game, anyway. Not for everybody, that's for sure. But no, I was fighting the second boss, Father Gascon, and I went through that fight maybe five, six, seven, ten. It was a lot of times. I lost count at one point, honestly. But I was getting so close to the end every time, and he would kill me in his final form. Once he gets past a certain point, he'd reach his final form, and I would have. I'd get down to a few blood vials, and I wasn't managing my distance properly and things like that. So it's sitting there talking to myself like, yeah, I was so close, but if I do this, this, and this right, then I could definitely beat him. So I get him down to his last little bit of health, and he goes to his final form. I pop a blood vial real quick, get some health back, and he hits me. He hits me. He hits me. I hit him, get some health back, and then I just rush him for the last little bit of damage, finish him off, and I get him. And it was fantastic. I jumped out of my basement chair with this my PS4 is, and in jubilation because I was so happy that I finally got past this man. He's giving me a hard time. Bloodborne's fantastic. I love it. Though that sense of
All right.
accomplishment for me is one of the bigger ones. Getting past a tough moment like that when you've been working at it for the longest time. That's one of the best things for me about gaming. So yeah,
Okay.
does it buy you any time?
No.
It's alright. Well, you know what? You can answer that with the community next week, because that is our question of the week for you guys. What's a positive moment in gaming for you? It could be something like I described, or anything. Could be something where, hey, you helped a friend get through a tough dungeon or whatever it may be. So give us something, and we'll get back to you with your responses, and hopefully Ken's on next week's episode. So there's that. So before we get out of here,
Well, I mean, if you want me to say one positive thing, I've thought of one.
okay, yes,
And
you're
that's
fine.
because I think it was about 4 years ago now, which is a really long time when you think about it.
It is.
Um, but
What?
I joined up with this Madden League,
Oh
and
yes.
I was playing a game, and my opponent that week was the Baltimore Ravens.
This
And
guy. This
um,
guy. Here he is.
yeah, yeah, and so like starting to play, and I get a message to join chat with this dude, and I'm like, oh my god, what is going on here? He wants to talk with me. Like this is gonna end up bad. He's probably gonna diss me out or something. But regardless of my pretenses, I still got on my headset and I guess answered the call. And he turned out to be a really cool dude. Um, and so I think that that's something that's positive. That just by playing this game and just accepting the chat invite, it's been something that been a positive relationship in my life for about 4 years now. So um,
It's been 4 years. But by the way, in case you guys didn't know who he was talking about, he's talking about me. All right, it's me. It's me. It's Byron Reed. So yeah, every time. It's great.
Wait, what are you talking about? The dude I was talking to was Byron Weed.
Oh, Byron Weed, yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
That's an interesting fellow.
real cool dude.
Yeah, I love it. Love it. This is fantastic. I can't believe it's been 4 years already. That's impressive.
Yeah, pretty much. Because it
Everybody
was,
was
yeah, it was Madden 15, so it's 2014.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So, I
Sounds
mean,
right. We're
yeah, I guess it's been more like 3.5 years, but I like to round
almost
up.
four. Yeah. Right. Fair enough. Fair enough. So that's great. So now that we've shared some of our positive moments, let's do some of yours next week, guys. I'm looking forward to getting those responses in the comment section of either YouTube or on the Joystick Entertainment Facebook page when we post the question of the week. So that's gonna do it for the episode, I think.
Yeah,
Is that it?
yep.
Yeah, we're done.
We done, and I got the hiccups
Hey,
now.
we're out of here! Thank you all so much for tuning in to episode 25 of the R&R Gaming Podcast. Once again, we are a part of the Joystick Entertainment Network. Before we get out of here, round of plugs.
Yeah. So you can find us on Twitter at R&R Gaming Pod. That's RANDR Gaming POD. You can find myself personally on Twitter at MacroboV. That's MacRobV as in Victor. You can find the Joystick Podcast. Joystick Podcast? No, wait. The Joystick Twitter page at Joystick ENT. That's JOYSTIKENT. And you can find my good pal Byron on Twitter at
Bron1417, that's capital BRON 1417. You can find me on Twitch streaming whenever I feel like it these days at Twitch B_Ron1417. That's B_Ron1417. I'm looking forward to streaming a few games. I've got Life is Strange sitting there waiting for me to stream. I'm still going to stream some more Destiny 2, a few other things as well. But that all depends on schedule and working that out with my life at the moment because it's kind of hectic. Work and holidays and all the other business. You can also find the podcast on YouTube and the Castbox app. On YouTube, you can search R&R Gaming with the ampersand for and.
I think so.
And on Castbox, it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yep.
so you can, if you're listening to us not on YouTube, you can take us with you in an MP3 form on Castbox, which you can get it on the App Store or the Play Store, depending on if you're on iPhone or if you're on Android. Or you can also just listen in on a browser at castbox.fm.
Yep, and as far as the YouTube thing goes, we have a video version of the podcast as well.
Right.
We have images, and sometimes we
Videos.
may put a trailer in there or two. Yeah, but it's fun stuff over there. Make sure you get over there, subscribe, hit the like button, and all the other fun stuff. Hit that bell to get notified whenever a video goes live, so you never miss an episode of this glorious goodness that is the podcast. I think that's all for tonight. I'm tired.
So I will tell them why they should come back next week. Thanks, Byron.
Oh, yes. See? I'm tired.
Yes.
Okay, tell
You
them
should come back next week because everyone could use a little more R&R. Like winners never quit when they're tired. Winners quit when they've won.